Okay, a few different aspects of this question, so I need to like make it concise.
Yeah.
So gamer, dancing, how is that connection? But also music and my capacity to search new music.
Well, I'm just interested, like, in like.
Okay.
I'm interested in you, like.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna answer just the first two parts of the question, like how do I apply my gaming mentality to dance. As for searching for new music, I don't really think that's a factor for me. I guess which makes sense because I don't search new music, so I don't even think about it. So, yeah, that took a lot of introspection. I think a lot of dancing. Okay, in general, everyone knows that dancing is, you have to bring yourself to the dance floor, right? You have to bring who you are, your life experiences, and to be able to actualize and be a confident person, you really need to be comfortable with who you are, your ethnicity, your upbringing, your values, your life experiences that define you. You need to bring that all to the dance floor, whether you like it or not. That's what shows, right? And I don't think there are many gamer dancers, or at least professional gamer dancers out there. And I had to like find my own identity, and I'm proud of my professional gaming identity. It's a huge part of who I am, and I milk it like crazy. Like I use my pro game experience to my job resume. It's gotten me like my first internships. It's gotten me a lot of friends at school and uni and whatever, and I'm proud, wear it proudly, and I definitely carry the mentality over to dance. And I think that's how I try game, like musicality and athleticism and battling. I game it, but also like in my own way.
Yeah.
And I'm very rational and logical when it comes to dancing.
Yeah.
I guess everyone is, but
Is gamified like a term?
I guess so.
Yeah. Because I try to gamify.
Yeah.
Like my systems and processes.
I see. Yeah, I definitely super gamify.
Yeah.
I guess like the interesting part of the gamify is like how do I gamify, like my method. And honestly, like that comes mostly from Jun, like one of my teachers, Mei Jun. He taught me to dance on beat, but in a really like specific way. Not dance to the beat in a specific way, but like to be really precise with your timing. Like timing precision, and also like treating the beat with much more respect. And really like, and I like practice the shit out of that. I don't even think I'm that good at it, like not compared to him or internationals, but I practiced like the best I could as a cine dancer. And I did that with Chun actually. Me and Chun both had this challenge, and we were both learning from him to like, we just learned like timing stuff, like how to be on beat. And me and Chun were like, okay, we have to have one battle this year where we're on beat. And we were like, every battle, after the battle, we're like, I was off beat, I was off beat. And we did every single battle that year, and we were off beat every single battle. And we were like, fuck, we suck, oh my god, we suck.
Was it really that offbeat?
Yeah, at least the way that we got taught it, we started getting like more harsh with what being on beat is, right? It has to be like quite specific. Like if you're off by a little bit, we're like, that's not good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah, being on beat was like a huge part of my dancing, and also like training foundation. Like I saw it as like a stat. Like you got to drill it, and you increase your stats and your muscle memory, all that sort of stuff, all that good stuff, and like structure, phrasing, like blow up moments. I feel like you could gamify that, and you could turn it into a structure or a set in your dancing. And I guess like that's why my dancing is quite consistent. Because of gamified it in that certain way. And I've just like set up rules for myself and set up my understanding. And that understanding is constantly being challenged by dancers that pop off, that don't fit in like my value system. And it's constantly evolving, but I have like this way of thinking, and for me it's really logical, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and to bring it back to gaming, like for me all of these skills are like last hitting, or like hitting headshots, or positioning, or timing on the map. Like for me, like being on beat, having foundation, having clean combos, all of that is the same as last hitting, or picking the right character in a game, or playing the map efficiently, or farming the jungle or something. Those are all the same skills that that have like dance equivalents, and I treat them all in the exact same way. Yeah, so that's why I'm like really logical with it. And there are a few like cons to this way of thinking. For one, like I don't have much artistry, which is why I like really respect dancers like you, who are so creative, and you just, for me, you operate in a way that doesn't adhere to these rules, and you do something completely different, and it's still dope. And I think that's super amazing. So I'm like trying to add that in, or at least not even add it now, but at least accept that it exists, and it's a possible pathway that I can take is like the first step that I'm working on. But that's how I link the gaming to the dancing. Like there are rules, there are things that are right and there are things that are wrong. And I look for dancers who I think are dope, and then I try to figure out what makes them good, and then like have them, watching them like adjust my value system, my beliefs, I guess. So yeah, that's how I see it. It's very logical. And I think that's why when I talk about dancing, it is like I can be articulate with it because I think about it a lot and it has to make sense to me. I think dancers that talk in like, not talk, but who are very like emotional and spontaneous, and they're just like, I felt it. And I'm like, oh, you popped off. How the heck did you do that? And they're like, I just felt it. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I just don't operate in that way. It has to make sense for me. And they're just like, I just felt this thing and I did it, and I've never done that before. I've done that before, but I just tried to change it up in this way because it was fun. I'm like, fuck. That is a whole different way of thinking. Your brain is completely differently wired to mine. And I just can't do that. Or for example, like Shazam, right? Like Azam. I remember he taught one of my friends, her name's Jess, and I was jamming with her, and she was like, what are you thinking about dancing? I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about being on beat, about having clean lines, about structuring my set well, and like starting with groove, adjusting to the music, and then adding technique in and building technique so it creates more of an emotional high, and maybe I can blow up or go down. Like I'm thinking about all of that and making sure that it's interesting, and if it starts getting stale, I'll try to change it up with like a big drastic feeling change to keep things interesting in case I'm not structuring properly. Like I try to patch things up if things go wrong. And then Jess like, oh, cool. And I'm like, what about you? And Jess is like, I was thinking about opera and Chinese tea leaves. And I'm like, oh my god. That is like... And she's like, I'm thinking about the wind. Yeah, and the taste. And I'm like, yeah, opera, Chinese tea leaves. I'm like, holy fuck. I can't, like, that is just... That's why I enjoy jamming with people like Jess. Right? Like, it's just a whole different way of thinking. Like, you can't gamify that. I don't think you can create, like, a value, logical structure to that way of thinking. That is something you really feel, and that's, like, so artistic and creative. Whereas for me, like, on beat, clean, character, foundation, blah, 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 have tick, 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 those boxes. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I've linked the gaming and the dancing.
I love it, man. I want you to continue if you have more to say, because I was just about to chuck in, like, yeah, like take ownership of, like, your gaming background, you know? Like,
yeah, I'm proud of it, but I definitely admit there's heaps of faults to it, and a lot of people don't think, or not don't think, but I can see why people would think it's not like real dancing or it's not free, but I've just come to terms with it. I think art is subjective and people can do it in any way they want. That means I can do it in my way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, because of tea leaves and Chinese opera, is this is me gamifying, but also like throwing like a glitch in there. Yeah? It's like, well, what about like a cosmetic mod?
Yeah.
On how you do a thing, you know, like headshots, you know, like positioning, placement. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put a mod on this map, and I'm gonna put a mod on this rifle here. You know, it's like it's no longer the original game.
Yeah.
But you're playing that game in a...
Yep, I'm a purist. I just don't think that way. Like, you're so creative like that, right? Like, I just took your private and your workshop, and you loved your favorite thing that I found and I've observed is we're doing this, and we're like, okay, what for? And then the next thing you say is, what if we did this? Or what if we did that? Or what if we did this? Or maybe this happens, and now we have to roll with it. And that is like a level of spontaneity and impulsivity and artistry that doesn't exist in my value systems right now. That's why I'm trying to learn from you. Right, it's different. But you're right. What if all those things are real ways of thinking that are totally valid and it's fucking dope when you actualize them when you dance? But that's not in my current gamified way of thinking of dance. Yeah.
No, and I respect that. I really respect that a lot. I'm really selfishly, I run this so that I can learn more from other people. And I'm a pretty isolated dude at the moment.
I see.
It's just like I've got a lot going on, and I focus. Because I'm kind of work from home as well.
Yeah.
As a person who's meant to be working with other people. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I work at home person, and sometimes I'm just caught up in my own world, and I vicariously learn about new things. What I might see you on posting your story or someone, and even then it's quite limited because I really make an effort not to scroll through.
Yeah, me too.
Right, to get stuck there.
Yeah, doom scrolling is bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yo!